Who saw him first, after the stone was rolled away and death was defeated? Was it Peter, the rock, or John, the beloved? Surely someone important, a man of authority. But God chose differently. The first to see the risen Christ was a woman, Mary Magdalene, a woman with a past shadowed by pain. In a world that dismissed her, God made her the herald of hope. This choice shatters our assumptions about worth and importance. God didn't seek the most qualified, but the most devoted, the one whose love anchored her to the grave. The first witness to the resurrection was not a saint, but a soul rescued from the storm. That is good news for us all. Just days before, darkness fell not just on the land, but on every heart. Hope was crucified and the disciples hid in fear. The world felt empty, dreams shattered, and the Sabbath was a day of aching loss. Jesus, the center of their universe, was gone. The promises of resurrection seemed like distant echoes drowned by grief. Roman guards sealed the tomb, convinced the story was over. For those who loved him, it was the end of hope itself. Into this despair, God would bring light. He didn't wait for faith to return. He stepped into the darkness. The stage was set, not for a predictable victory, but for a miracle that would shatter despair. The world was about to change forever. Before sunrise, Mary Magdalene walked through the silent city, her heart heavy with grief. She came to anoint a body, not to witness a miracle. But the stone was rolled away. Confusion and panic replaced her sorrow. Had someone stolen his body? The empty tomb felt like a final insult, not a sign of hope. She ran to tell Peter and John, her words frantic. "They have taken the Lord, and we don't know where they put him." The disciples came, saw, and left, puzzled. But Mary stayed. Alone and weeping, she stood at the edge of the greatest miracle, seeing only loss. She was on the doorstep of eternity, but all she saw was an empty grave. Through her tears, Mary looked into the tomb and saw two angels. "Why are you crying?" they asked. Her answer, "They have taken my Lord." Turning, she saw a man she thought was the gardener. He asked the same question, and she pleaded, "If you've taken him, tell me where." She was searching for a body, not a living savior. Then everything changed with a single word, her name, Mary. In that moment, the fog lifted. The gardener was the Lord. He was alive, and he knew her name. The resurrection became real, personal, and world-changing. Why Mary Magdalene? Why was she chosen as the first witness? She was a woman with a broken past, delivered from 7 demons, a rescued soul. By appearing to Mary first, Jesus declared his grace is for the broken, his hope for the hopeless. Her past didn't disqualify her, it qualified her. In a culture that dismissed women's voices, Jesus entrusted her with the greatest news. He turned the world's power structures upside down. This matters for anyone who's ever felt insignificant or defined by their past. No one is too broken for a new beginning. Mary's story is our story. A reminder that God meets us in our need, not our strength. He uses our wounds to display his grace. Mary's encounter with the risen Christ transformed her. Grief became joy, and she ran to tell the disciples, "I have seen the Lord." Her story was met with skepticism, but her conviction planted a seed. Even in doubt, her words cracked the wall of despair. Jesus would soon appear to the others, but Mary was the first spark. The movement began not on a stage, but in a garden, with one rescued soul sharing hope. Her testimony became the first link in a chain stretching to us today. The greatest story ever told began with her. One voice, one witness, ignited a flame that would change the world. Hope was alive. The resurrection story is more than history. It's a living promise. Like Mary, we find ourselves in gardens of grief, convinced hope is lost. But Jesus still comes to us, often unrecognized, calling us by name. He knows your story, your pain, your longing. You are not disqualified, your past does not define you. He brings life from death, rolls away stones, and calls each of us by name. Listen for his voice in your own garden. He is there, alive, inviting you to witness the power of resurrection. He still brings hope,